So today I'm going to demonstrate how to set up an infusion with a secondary medication set. So first off, I'm going to grab all my supplies. That's my primary tubing, my normal saline, which is going to be my flush, my secondary tubing, and then my already reconstituted and pre-mixed medication, which I have done prior to this video. Okay, I'm going to start with hand hygiene. Okay, so to start, I'm going to prime my line via IV pump. So I'm taking my Braun tubing, clamp, take my priming solution, I'm going to power up my pump, which takes a few seconds. When it says open the door, I will open the door and load my tubing. We should all be pretty familiar with how to load tubing. Okay, I'm going to close the door. And I'm going to open the roller clamp. And when it asks me IV line change, now it's saying prime IV line, and yes. Okay. So it's going to prime with about 23 mLs. Okay, so priming is stopped. I'm gonna hit OK. Repeat priming, no, arrow down. Okay, so for this demonstration, we will be administering Vanco 500 milligrams. I have pre-made the vancomycin. So we reconstituted our Vanco with 10 mLs. I'm using a 100 ml mini bag, not the mini bag plus, but just a mini bag. So our overfill volume is 10 mLs for a total of 110 mLs. Our total volume in this mini bag now is 120 mLs. Okay, so we have the primary line set up and primed, and I am now going to attach the secondary line with medication prior to programming the pump. Okay, so to prepare my medication with the secondary set, when I open my secondary medication tubing, inside there's a blue hanger. I take out the blue hanger and I hang the primary set to this hanger. This is to ensure that the primary bag is a minimum of 20 centimeters from the secondary. Clamp. I will prime this tubing by gravity. So just to unclamp a little bit until it drips just a very little bit. Okay, so my secondary medication will be hanging up here. And I'm going to take an alcohol swab and I'm going to cleanse the port pre-pump. Then I will attach my medication, fluor lock, open my clamp, and now I am ready to program the pump. Okay, so first off, you have to program the primary tubing. So I'm gonna hit OK. Manitoba Renal Program. go to MRP Top Meds, and then I'm going to just go to IV fluid. To select IV fluid, I'm going to go side. So now we must program the primary rate at the same rate that we would program our vancomycin. So because we want to give our vancomycin in half an hour, our total volume of the bag is 120 mLs. To give 120 mLs in half an hour, we must program the rate to be 240 mLs. So for our primary, we will program the rate to be 240 mLs. So I'm going to go over to the side, move it over, and then up to 2, up to 4, and then hit OK. So now our rate is programmed at 240 mLs. When all of our medication has gone through, we need the primary to flush in at least 20 mLs so that our patient is getting all of the medication. So our volume to be infused will be 20 mLs. So again, I'm going to hit the left arrow and then go up to 20 and hit OK. So now you can see that our rate is 240 mLs, volume to be infused is 20, and it's going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to continue to arrow down to our secondary. I'm going to hit left arrow, and then I'm going to hit new secondary. It's always going to be a new secondary for our patients because we usually only give them one. I'm going to go down to MRP Top Meds as I'm giving vancomycin 500, and that is a very common med. I'm going to use our side arrows backwards to take me to the V. So now that I've gone to TUV, I'm going to go down to vancomycin 500. If you see, there's two options. The first one, vancomycin 500 milligrams MBP, that stands for mini bag plus. So if you mix with mini bag plus, you would accept that one. But since we mixed it ourselves, we're going to pick vancomycin 500 milligrams dose over time. So we're going to go sideways. This is just a little information to let you know that this is an irritant and there's sometimes an infusion related reaction. So enter the amount of drug in the bag or syringe. Okay, so we have 500 milligrams. So I'm moving the arrow to the third decimal space up to the 500 milligrams, and I'm clicking OK. Enter the volume of solution in the bag or syringe and hit OK. So now that's our total volume. So I'm going to put 120 mLs. So again, I'm moving over to the third decimal space, going up to the 1, back, and then up to the 20. Okay. Okay, so now you can see that we've programmed our secondary vancomycin, 500 milligrams, total time 30 minutes, volume to be infused 120 mLs. And our concentration is there, 500 milligrams per 120 mLs, and our rate is 240 mLs per hour. So I am going to hit start, and it's asked you to make sure that your secondary line is unclamped, which ours is, and I will hit start again. So now you can see that we're running secondary 500 milligrams, 30 minutes. I just want you to note that all of these machines are programmed to automatically go to the primary infusion post-medication. So once this medication is finished, it's automatically going to start drawing 20 mLs out of this bag. Once the 20 mLs is in, the pump will then alarm at you, and it will be time for you to disconnect. Okay, so like I've said earlier, the one thing about this pump when we're trying to program a secondary medication is that we always have to program our primary infusion first. So that's the normal saline. When we program the primary infusion, we have to program it at the same rate as what our medication would flow at. So let's say we had a more difficult medication such as vancomycin 750 milligrams. That is diluted in a 100 ml bag for a total of 118 mLs, and it's to be run over 45 minutes. Okay, so from the front screen, we're gonna just click OK. I'm gonna go to Manitoba Renal Program. As always, I'm gonna select MRP Top Meds, and I'm gonna go to IV fluid because we are programming our primary infusion. So now you can see it says primary IV fluid. Instead of programming the rate, I'm going to program the volume to be infused over time, and I'm going to use the medication volume to be infused and the medication time to figure out our rate. So the volume to be infused is 118 mLs. Oops, 118. Okay, and the time is 45 minutes. And I'm going to select OK. So now you can see that the pump has figured out our rate for us. It's 157.3 mLs per hour. As we're in the primary and we know we only want 20 mLs of the normal saline infusion to run post medication, I'm going to change the volume to be infused now to 20 mLs. 20 mLs. And you can see that the time has changed to 8 minutes. So the rate is still the same at 157.3 mLs. The volume to be infused is 20 and the time is 8 minutes. So that's going to be 8 minutes after our medication goes in. So now I can program the secondary. So I'm going to go down the screen and select secondary with the left arrow. It's again, always new secondary. And I'm going to go to all drugs this time, as vancomycin 750 milligrams is not in the MRP top meds. So if you ever select MRP top meds and it's not in there, just go back and select all meds. I'm going to go under the TUV and go down until I find vancomycin 750 milligrams, which is right here. Now I'm going to select the left arrow. As you can see, there's two different concentrations we can pick from. We diluted our medication into the 100 ml bag, so it's Vanco 750 milligrams per 118 mLs. I'm going to select that one. This is just that notification of dilutant irritant. And now you can see that the pump has programmed it all its own. 750 milligrams over 45 minutes. Volume to be infused is 118 mLs. The concentration is 750 milligrams per 118 mLs. And then there's our rate, 157.3 mLs per hour, just same as our primary. From this screen, you just hit start. You ensure that your secondary pump is unclamped, which ours is. And we confirm by hitting start again, and now it's running. You can see that it's running Vanco 750 over 45 minutes. So just keep in mind that when you're programming a medication and you're thinking of infusion time, you now need to allot yourself an extra 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending on the medication, for the flush to run through. Thanks so much. I hope this video helped. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to talk to one of us educators.